I've had the bike on the road for 10 months now, and I think it's time to start doing some more mods to it. Because the weather's about to change, it doesn't matter if it's a bit longer off the road this time. After getting the bike running and getting it on the road earlier on in the year, I was toying with the idea of making a calf racer. So I started preparing some of the bits for it. I got a second-hand yoke. I made these inserts so I could drop the forks down 40mm, so they'll go up into there so I could lower the front end down. I made the handlebar clamps, and these will be the bars to go on it. So I actually made these pieces in January on my Finally on the Road video. So this is the replacement top yoke. I also want to lower the front light down, so I'll cut that, drop that down so I can bring the clocks down. And also this hydraulic joiner splitter, that needs to be lowered, so I've already bought a new hydraulic hose for that. I keep saying things like hydraulic hoses instead of brake pipes. You're just going to have to ignore all that. That's the engineer in me coming out, that is. Okay, let's start stripping it down. All the mods I'm going to do can easily be reversed and put back to standard if I want. I've just removed the circlip from this telescopic fork, and it was all solid rust in there and I couldn't tell what were going on. And I'm not sure whether that circlip's rusted or whether that's the design of it. But I am an engineer and I've never come across a... I think it's supposed to be like that. I don't know. I'll soon find out when I take the other one out. So I've got the chrome tube out. So I literally just undone that out the bottom of the tube there. Pulled the cap out and then literally pulled it, and it pulled the seal out. So it's quite straightforward and easy. I've just put my modified yoke on, and I've just tried the telescopic tubes to make sure it fits and it's all in line. So that's great, that fits a treat. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to extend these. I don't really want a lower riding position because, well, let's face it, I'm getting on and I don't want to end up with a backache, and I've really enjoyed riding this bike and I don't want to make it any worse. So I'm going to extend these tubes here, cut them, put them in the lathe, make them longer. So I'm going to have drop bars, clip-ons, without lowering the actual riding position. So we're going to see how I'll get on with this. So I've just parted the hydraulic tube about 115mm down there. I've made a spacer up there which will go in here, and also this pipe I made there is for lining the whole thing up before I weld it. So I shall weld the spacer in and then the tube on there, and that will give me the 40mm. I've looked online and all I can find is it's just a steel. They use steel. Machined okay. So I'll definitely know whether it's going to be a success or not as soon as I put the welder on it. So next I need to weld this piece on, the one with the thread that actually locks it into the top of the yoke. So that's where I parted it off. Now I need to put a beveled edge on, same as the others. Right, so the 40mm spacer's in now. It's all welded up and turned down. Yeah, that's a good job. So I'll have no worries about that. So I've put my new top yoke on there, the one that I modified. And I've also, these are where the forks have been extended, there and there. And they all fit lovely, eh? They're lovely and straight. So next thing I want to do is alter these. I've finished the front forks and now I'm just going to lower the front light. Not that low though. So I just temporary tacked this on. I dropped it in place just to see where the light sits. I had to readjust that just to bring it down a bit and bring the hole further forward, but that was the idea of the strip, just so you can just get the position you want. I'm just going up the studio now and I'm going to cut this off, grind that down, and then make a little bracket so it's more similar to that but not as wide across there to give it a bit more support. And then I shall put that in. And then after that, obviously, I'm going to need to either drill some holes in here for the clocks, maybe a little clip or something to hold the choke. So it's getting on, we're getting there. So these are the arms I've made to hold the front headlight, but they looked a little bit thin. The steel's man enough, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to run piece of bar around there, tack it on, and then what you can do then is just sand around the edges. So I've just simply put the bar in the vise, just sort of been bending it around, offer it up. Yeah, the radius is about right, needs a tweak just there. Then I shall just start tacking it at one end like that, and then it's easy to pull round to get the exact shape. So it's quite simple really. So this is what it looks like when it's finished. So you got that there, and then once you blend that edge in there, that'll be nice. Put some primer filler on it, that'll be lovely. That'll look so much better than just a raw edge. Earlier today I welded this piece in on the top yoke, and the idea was to mount the choke in the centre there, and it was a brilliant idea until I actually put it on the bike and realised that it blocked the vision of the display lights down the centre of the headlight. All the bits are made and I'm ready to start assembling everything. I've put some paraffin in with these bits in here just to wash them through. I'll give them a good clean. And somehow I managed to knock this bush off, which is round there on that one. It's tight. So first I'm going to try and put that round, and then I came up with an idea of using a Jubilee clip, and hopefully it's going to put it back to its original size. So let's just try this. Put that on there. That should just fit over there nicely. Then get a screwdriver and just tighten it up, and hopefully this will do the job. Like I said, I knocked it off. I don't know how I managed to knock it off. I don't know whether I caught it in the chuck of the lathe or what I done. Right, so it's sitting in there now, so let's hope it stays there. And the answer to that is no. So I've just pushed the screwdriver in there so it will just nip by it. I don't like doing this at all. So look, it's just gone by it. It's keeping it nice and circular, not distorting it. Right, let's release that, see what it does. That's better, look, that's a nice tight fit. Let's see if this pushes on. That's better. Right, hopefully it'll go in there. Oh yes. That's good. That's good. seals are on, the clips are on both of them. So next I need to put the gaiters on. These were one of the best buys I ever bought. I think that was about £3 something. I just quickly measured the sizes. They're a bit tight, so what I normally do is just warm these up with the old heat gun. Right, so I've pulled these up. I've just put a bolt in the bottom yoke, just to nip it up, and I've had to make these 40mm spacers, obviously, so they'll just drop in there. One in there, one in there, and now I'm ready to top it up with oil. Right, once it's filled with oil, you have to screw these two pieces in. So that drops in like that, and that screws in there with a big Allen key, like this. And then once you've screwed that right in, which I've done on this one, that drops down there, and that's it. Your forks are finished. It's supposed to have 4.9 fluid ounces of hydraulic oil. I've put just over 5 because of the added 40mm on the fork legs. I had to weld the bars on the end of the clamps there. Originally I wanted to come down the side, but I couldn't because of the dual clocks. They just tipped down at a slight angle, so that's good. All the other mods that you see are in my previous videos, so if you want to check them out. This was the new hose I fitted, just to extend it because I had to lower the splitter. So let's have a look down there. I haven't quite finished that, and I've also somehow managed to lose the screw to the front brake, but they're just little bits. That's it, it's finished. So I pushed it round the garden, and the handlebars didn't move. If they didn't move when you push it round the garden, they're not going to move when you're riding them, so that's good. As you can see, everything's lower. It looks more like a calf racer now. But when you actually sit on it, the riding position is really not that much different. So the handlebars used to be about this much higher, that's all. So it's still comfortable to sit on. What I like about this bike the best is the distressed look. You really can't tell whether it was done months ago or years ago. When people see it, they're not sure how old it is. And that's what I like about it. I've just been for a nearly 20-mile bike ride, and I didn't like it. It was too cold. The bike was alright though. So I'll see you all in my next video. I think I've got to fit an exhaust pipe to the transit.